There we are. I think we're live.
We
Hi, Ajaire.
are. Hey, Sheila. It's good seeing you.
It's good to see you too. So, this is our cuddle conversation for December, and you are looking quite cozy, I will say. Tell me what you're sporting today.
I mean, today I just have my little infinity scarf. I'm not, oops, that's probably right over my microphone. Am I banging that microphone? So, yeah, I've just got an infinity scarf on. I think this is probably um, rabbit, one of the rabbits. It's
Ooh.
old. I wear it constantly. Um, and I'm not nearly as cozy as you are looking over there. I had a plan. Kids were sick, plans don't turn out. But I'm super jealous of you over there, Sheila. What are you
I
wearing is the question.
I am very cozy. So I am wearing the cloud cuddle onesie that we made on the last Sew Together live, which is honestly very cozy. It's so lightweight though. I got dressed in regular clothes because I had some other stuff to do, and then I put on my onesie so we could cuddle up together. And then I walked around the house, and I thought, if it was just a touch colder in South Texas, this could totally be a vibe. So I'm I'm not going to discount. I am very cozy. I'm feeling very lightweight and snuggly, and so I'm all snuggled up. So I'm
You
ready
look
to
very
have a
cozy.
conversation with you about cuddle.
Yes, and I was inspired by your live, and I wanted to make my own cuddle onesie, but kids were homesick. I got it all cut out, didn't get to do it, but I was going to make it in this Highland cow of the cloud cuddle, and I am so excited for it. First of all, I've never had a onesie before. I'm not what I would consider a onesie person. I had a whole conversation with my older sister this morning saying, I'm going to try to whip this up. I didn't get it done yesterday because baby was homesick. Um, am I going to be that person that like puts it on and never takes it off? Like I'm like onesie person all of a sudden because I think I'm going to be so cozy that I'm never going to want to wear anything else. So it
It
may be
is.
good that I didn't get it on screen because then you guys would be witnessing my new life.
No, I think it's totally valid. You're totally allowed to live like this. And I will say, like the body freedom that wearing a onesie gives you, I mean, like, I'm I'm not mad about it.
I
So
love
I'm
it.
like, this could totally be a vibe. So the next time we do like a get together of all of the ambassadors, we
Yes.
absolutely should bring our cloud cuddle onesies for a pajama party night. So um, you know, everybody that's an ambassador that's hanging out
Yes.
here with us, I see you out there, and y'all get your onesies ready because we're gonna cuddle up together.
Mhm. And I'm excited because Sheila, it is lightweight, like you said. It is actually kind of
Yeah,
the perfect fabric for a onesie because
yeah,
even though it's cuddle and it's super warm and snuggly, it's not heavy like some of the Luxes would be or something if you were wearing a full body thing.
yeah.
It really, as I was cutting it all out and putting it together, like getting it ready to go together, I was like, this actually is the perfect fabric for a onesie.
It really is. I mean, it's just light, and cuddle is just so wearable. And I feel like we have been sleeping on the wearability of cuddle. I mean, we'll talk more about that, but
Yes.
yeah, it is so wearable and it's so lightweight. I feel so free. And in that video that I did, we talked about all kinds of patterns, and you're actually using even another pattern for
It
a
is.
cuddle onesie.
Yep.
So any pattern that you have that was made for fleece
Hmm.
or um, even sweatshirt material,
Yeah.
I wanna say, like
Yep.
a a thicker
Mhm.
non-stretch fabric, like, you could use cloud in place of that, and actually, this is so much lighter. I mean,
Yeah.
I have less thickness, I have less
Yes.
volume on, which as a person who doesn't normally wear a onesie, I don't wanna be a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, so I don't want a whole lot of fabric, so the cloud is perfect.
Well, that's what I
It's
was a little
perfect.
bit worried about, but like I said, as I was cutting it, I was like, "Actually, this is pretty thin, like, this isn't gonna be a big, bulky thing." So I am excited, and I will get it finished up, and I promise you guys I will take some pictures and post them in the I Love Cuddle Facebook group. Patricia, one of our ambassadors, she just posted that she's very excited about the PJ onesie party, so we've all gotta get a pair, make them, and share next time we're together. We'll make with Ginger a pair too. She says she's gotta get that planned. Well, actually, Ginger can make her own. She's a
Ginger
sewist, whether she
can.
thinks so
She's
or
got
not.
a sewing machine. Yeah. And Janet says, I don't see how she could convince her hubby to put one on. I like it would not take but a second. Like you make one for you and then you just like live your life
Just be
and
comfortable, and he's gonna be jealous and want one. That's what's gonna happen. It's like
absolutely.
cuddle sheets. The husbands are always like, "We're not putting that on the bed. That's gonna be terrible. It's too hot. I don't even wanna think about it on the bed." And now I have one cuddle sheet that I have to wash same day because he insists it's on the bed every night. So just do it, live your life, and they're gonna wanna join in.
Yep. Helen, does it have a flap? No, it has a zipper. So this is a zip
I
up
don't know if I can
situation.
handle a flap. I might
I'm
have to
not coordinated enough. Like absolutely not.
But luckily the Cuddle does. So zippers are great with Cuddle, super easy, especially with cloud. So it's easy to install a zipper. Yeah, super excited about it. And if you're curious and you didn't see Sheila's live, go check that out. It's still out there for replay on YouTube, Facebook. So what else are we talking about today? Obviously, we're cuddly cozy. If my sound starts getting weird, anybody let me know because I feel like this. Actually, I'm going to take it off because even though it's so cozy, I don't want to mess this microphone up and be all crinkly talking to you guys today. So I'm just going to keep it on my lap because I do need to have something to pet. So we're cozy. What else are we doing today?
We are cozy. So like all of the cozy things, like this time of year, we're all doing the last minute dash to holiday making, right? So I've got a mess over here that I actually got some of my mess put up because I got some things done and I put them in the done pile, and I've got some more things to do, and those are in this, it goes from the pile of making to the pile of finished, right? So I'm in the process of that, and everything that I have left to make is all a cuddle thing. So I'm super excited about that, which means it's gonna be easy. I'm gonna do it on my serger, so my seams are gonna be perfect. It's like I'm making cozy. We're having a cozy Christmas here.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the plan.
The rest of
So
my things are all cuddle things too. And I think I always kind of plan it that way because cuddle is so, for me at least, so easy to work with and fast that it's like those ones that I just put off because I'm like, I know that'll be quick. I know that'll be quick. So it kind of makes that last week of Christmas project madness a little bit fun because it's just all cuddle the whole time. And I know how to do it. I know I'm gonna get through it. It's just fun. Oh, a secret pocket in the scarf. We do have some videos out there on YouTube. I know we have one that talked about putting a little zip pocket in the scarf. I always joke that I can just leave the opening open because I didn't close my opening closed and I could like shove my credit card in there. But
it'll go around in the infinite loop for
and then
forever.
it's like a fun project trying to get it out. But yeah, it is fun having the secret little pocket inside your.
That might save you money. Actually, tuck it in there. It's gone. Stephanie asks, how long did it take to make the adult size onesie? Like literally, the longest part is cutting it out, or taping the pattern together to cut it out. I mean, if you're using it took less time than I expected.
It's long seams, but it's not a lot of seams. So it's just
Right.
stretching down. And especially if you use a serger, it breezes right through it. I mean, obviously you can just use a stretch stitch on your regular machine or whatever, but yeah, I really think I can have this sewn, just this afternoon when we're done here because it's all ready to go. It just didn't get a chance to sew it.
It's cool. Ginger said she made 8 scarves yesterday. Way to go, Ginger.
That means you are ready to make a onesie.
Mm-hmm.
That just means that's the practice prep. You're ready.
Yep, absolutely. And Helen, you're right. There is a video for the pocket scarf. And if you are still looking for projects because you're not done making for the people that you need to make things for, on the Shannon Fabrics website, which we always talk about this, but I feel like, there's plenty of room there. Everybody doesn't know about it yet, but there's a free pocket scarf on the Shannon Fabrics website. There's the infinity scarf pattern, the Luxe pillow pattern, which is what I'm making oodles of. And but everybody loves a cuddle gift, and so you're not going to make anybody mad by giving them something made out of cuddle. So,
and infinity scarves, I mean, Patricia said she's making them for the waitresses at her favorite restaurant. I like those as quick last minute teacher gifts because you can bang. I mean, kids have so many teachers nowadays. There's like all the specials teachers who get looked, they kind of get left out sometimes. And I can make a whole bunch of those. And it's, just men, women, it doesn't matter. They love that coziness. We're in Maryland. It's real chilly now. It's like 12 degrees this morning. So everybody loves an infinity scarf. Really great, fast and easy project.
Yep, absolutely. I was actually looking up to see if you have a Bernina L890, it stitches 1,350 stitches per minute. So I
Zoop,
only
zoop.
super fast, so fast.
It is.
Zippers freak me out. That's why I make stuffies. Well, you know what? A zipper with Cuddle, there's more room for, or less, more room for error. So even if you make a mistake, it's Cuddle, so you can fluff your fluff up, and nobody will see your errors. So you can be brave and try it with Cuddle before you're doing something precision like satin or cotton. You know, do it on Cuddle.
And it's funny because we have a lot of people who are more afraid of doing something like a stuffy than a zipper, because the stuffy feels hard to some people. So it's just what you're comfortable with. But trust me, if you try it out, you'll see. Super easy.
Jackie says she's making a coat out of Cuddle for her puppy. Yay! And this, I'll say, one of the patterns that I used for the onesie, it was a simplicity version. So go back and find that in the ingredients list, you know, the resources. The simplicity pattern that I used, which is available like at a store that sells simplicity or on the simplicity website. This same pattern that has like adult and kids patterns in it also has a puppy.
Oh, that's funny.
So yeah, don't leave out your pups because they'll love it too.
Yes.
So,
and actually, before we forget, cute puppies. But before we forget, don't forget to share and like, comment. Oh no, what are we doing to win? What are we doing to win? Oh, ask questions.
Yeah, that's right. And share it on your socials so that we can get the word out about Cuddle. It's, you know, I'm so surprised every day in the I Love Cuddle group. We have new people joining, and one of the main questions that they ask is like, what is Cuddle? I don't even know what Cuddle is. And so share this so that the world can help. You can help us tell people about Cuddle. So
and you can win a Cuddle blanket today. So it's already pre-made. It's an actual blanket. They're so scrumptious. Sometimes even us sewists, it's nice to just get a gift like that where it's already made. And so get it in the house quick before your kids take it, or husband. If you want it for yourself, make sure you hide it real quick. But if you already asked a question, because we did get quite a few questions in the preview post for this, that's another way to enter to win today's prize. So as we approach this third Tuesday of the month, be on the lookout for the preview post. And if you've got a Cuddle question, post it there and you're already entered to win, and we'll most likely answer your question during our conversation. So Adriana, if you want to pop that dog bed up again, that was super cute. I'd just like to see that again.
So cute. All the pets love Cuddle. I mean, they don't care if it's made into something. They're happy with a pile of fabric. But this is absolutely adorable. I think one of our Cuddle ambassadors,
to have like in your living room. Yes. This little chair.
I know, with the little arms on it, and he just looks like he is the king of that cozy spot right there for sure.
Yes. And that's a digital Cuddle. It's one of the newer Christmas prints, and I think it looks so nice here. It's really, really pretty.
It really is. It's really nice, and I love the contrast. So that when Shannon makes a digital or a print of anything, there are how many kami solids are there? There's so many solids, but there's always a coordinate or 5 or 6 coordinates that go with it. And so I love this deep red here that's with this one. So
yeah, it really makes it shine. Oh, puppy.
Oh my gosh. See, look at those pups in their little Cuddle sacks. See, all the animals love Cuddle.
They're all cozy.
Yeah, mine are cozy on the dining table right now because I started to cut out another quilt coat. It's the elemental coat, and I'm making it out of Lux Cuddle on the outside and silky satin, which is another Shannon fabric, on the inside. And they have because I was getting ready for this, I didn't have time to sew, but my cats are involved in that situation out there.
Yes. So Tammy would just asked, what do we say we're giving away today? We're giving away a Cuddle blanket. So it's a pre-made, already ready to snuggle for Christmas Cuddle blanket. So that's what we're giving away today.
Look at these cute pups. And this is Quilting Cuddle, and it's got embroidery on it. So I know we had a question about how to do machine embroidery on Cuddle fabric, or can you? And yes, the answer is yes, yes, yes. We actually, so February is National Embroidery Month. And if you go back into the Sew Together Lives on the Shannon Fabrics YouTube page, we archive all of the videos on there. And so you can find that Sew Together Live where Dawn Chase and I talked about machine embroidery on Cuddle. So if you're interested and you're curious about how to do it, what kind of, situation you need, like what kind of tools, what kind of techniques, all of that. It is in that or Sew Together Live from February with Dawn. I think it was February. Dawn Chase and I talking about all the machine embroidery things. So yeah, that was the question that I had seen earlier.
Yeah.
What's the best method for embroidering? I mean, you probably want a knockdown stitch, but you might not. Like, depends on what you're trying to do. So maybe you want a knockdown stitch, or maybe you want to use a topper. How much embroidery are you putting on there? Are you doing a design that has like open areas where some of that cuddle, the fibers may pop through? Do you want to knock them down so that your embroidery really pops? There's lots of different ways you could do it, but
I feel like
yeah,
it's so I don't have an embroidery machine, and so I just watch you guys from afar, and Sheila's trying to get me to get one, and eventually I will. But I feel like just watching the videos that you guys have posted with tips and tricks and stuff, I feel like I know that I could do it. You guys are really good about this type of cuddle, you're going to want to do this, and this type of cuddle, you're going to want to do this. If you're looking to do this type of embroidery, do this. So I really suggest you go out and look at some of those prior videos on YouTube. If you go to the Shannon Fabrics YouTube page, we have tons of videos out there, but there's definitely a few select ones that are about machine embroidery, and you'll find exactly what you're looking for. And if you don't,
yeah.
ask the specific question over on the I Love Cuddle Facebook group, and you definitely will get some good answers.
Oh, yeah, and if you're not in that I Love Cuddle Facebook group, please come join us over there, because
Yeah.
that is the place to get real-time help. There's lots of experts in there. There's lots of friendly sewists in there. I mean, we're a cuddly bunch, and so nothing to be afraid of. Joining a Facebook group. It's a private group, so we keep the randos out. We talk about sewing, we talk about cuddle fabric in there, and it's a great place to learn too. So all of the things that we didn't get answered here, if you still have questions or you don't want to ask them on a live stream, I get that. You can ask them in that private Facebook group too. So yeah, so those projects that Adriana shared, they were from our recent 12 days of cuddle. So we did 12 days of different projects, and we're going to kind of go through some of them, because we know not everybody got to see what the fun that we had for 12 days of cuddle. But I think also I wanted to say, Ajaire, when you get your embroidery machine, if the first thing that you embroider isn't cuddle, we're going to have to talk.
It's going to be, there's no, like, I have so many ideas and so many things that, like, eventually when it happens, it's going to just be nonstop cuddle over here. I mean, it's nonstop cuddle anyway, let alone once I get embroidery.
Do we even sew with anything else anymore? Here's some of these other darling projects. I love that. I love that snowman face. He's so cute.
Yes.
That is a free pattern on the Shannon Fabrics website, isn't it? He's a snowman.
And that's a cute class that we've taught many times over the years. It's just a fun, cute pillow. But it is available, like Sheila said, as a free pattern on the site too.
And it's not machine embroidery. So if you just have a regular sew machine, you can do that for sure.
Yep.
And those candy canes, oh my goodness, those are so cute. So another of our cuddle members, I think Laura Severinson did both of these projects. And the way she put together the candy cane and these stockings, just it killed me. It was so, so cute. So these are absolutely adorable little stockings for pets out of the new digital printed Christmas cuddles. I just love seeing all of the projects, because there's just so many things. Everybody's like, well, what do you make with it? Well, like everything. We make everything out of it. So here's a table runner. And
if you guys have missed these, we've been posting on social media the 12 days of Cuddle Christmas. So you can always go back to those individual posts to get all the details. We've got like the fabrics listed, who made it, the patterns, everything is out there, because we want you guys to have success with this as well. So we wanted to kind of come through and show them to you again in case you missed them, because I know not all of us, our algorithms don't always show us the things every day. But you can go back out there and go find the post. I think they've also been reposted into that I Love Cuddle Facebook group. So you should be able to find any of the ones you want more specifics about.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. So we saw that table runner, and then here is the Christmas tree skirt. Ajaire, you made that Christmas tree skirt.
I actually have it here too. Adriana, if you want to go back on to us. So this is it in person. The colors were not perfect. They're kind of not perfect here either, but they're just a super nice mix of the quilting cuddles that we had. I kind of took any ones that I could pretend were Christmassy and use them. And then in between, I used that Lux Cuddle Bunny and just zigzagged these little wedges down and bound the whole thing. But I thought it was super cute and it looks so nice under the tree, and the back is all bunny. So I really just kind of like want to wear it right now because I don't have my cuddle onesie on, but it really turned out so super cute. And I've got all the footage to throw together a reel for how it actually went together. The blog post has it all written out, but sometimes it's nice to just get that visual and see it, in a reel. So hopefully that'll be out by the end of the week if you guys are interested how that worked.
It's super cute. And I do love how you put like all of those quilting cuddle and then added pink to it. I'm always about adding pink. It's so fun. And yeah, Kinsey says it'd be great with scrap fabric. Absolutely.
It
I
is.
mean, we're all about.
And that method, like I did like the stitch and flip up, like, from the bottom up, but you could do it back and forth all over the place. You could do it super scrappy. And then by putting these panels in between each one, it cleans up the line really nicely. But you could go scrappy in 1,000 different directions. And it could, just by doing those little white strips in between, it kind of makes it a little cleaner, if that makes sense.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so here's a good question. My question is, I want to make a quilt with cuddle. What would be the best needle to use for that? That's a great question. What do you say, Ajaire?
I mean, if you're just using your regular machine, then obviously I would use a 9014 stretch needle. That's pretty much what I always use. And I feel like it works well even with the layers of quilting. Have you experienced anything different, Sheila? Would you do something?
Nope, I would do the same thing. 9014 stretch needle. The stretch needle is really that's key. I mean, because cuddle's a knit fabric, so you don't want to pierce the fibers. Even though cuddle is a stable knit, so you don't get running, or the fibers don't unravel like that, but you still want to treat a knit fabric like a knit fabric. And so we use a stretch needle because the tip is just ever so slightly rounded. And the 9014, it's a stronger needle than your standard 7511 or 8012, which is what quilters may be used to using. The 9014 is a little stronger needle because cuddle is a thicker fabric. So heavier fabric, bigger needle, but stay with the stretch. And we love using the Schmetz 9014 needles for sure.
Yeah, those work great. And I just use them across the board with cuddle. And I've never had a problem with my projects, whether it's, like I said, many layers or not. The 9014 stretch needle across the board seems to work well.
Absolutely. Okay, somebody else is asking the best thread to use, embroidery versus polyester thread. Do you know anything? I mean, I like embroidery. So you're ready for embroidery, aren't you? Tell me what you know, Ajaire.
I've listened to you for so long. I know all about it. I just need to put it into practice. So I'd always use the polyester thread for just regular sewing with cuddle. The 100% polyester thread, it's just a little bit stronger, doesn't break as easy, and with that slight stretch to the cuddle, you don't want anything that's going to stretch and then maybe your stitches might snap. So the polyester thread works great for that. And then when you are embroidering on cuddle, so let's say you're not just doing a straight seam, I assume you would use embroidery thread there and not the polyester, or is all the embroidery thread polyester anyway? So what's that, Sheila?
That is really great. I didn't even think about that part of the distinction. So a lot of
because you know.
a lot, and I love thread. So I absolutely love thread.
Yes, you know everything about it.
A lot of embroidery thread happens to be polyester, but there are cotton threads for machine embroidery, and there are rayon threads, which is what traditionally has been used for machine embroidery, is rayon. I would not recommend using rayon thread to seam with because it's just not a very strong thread, and rayon gets weak when it gets wet. So something that's going to go through the laundry, those seams aren't going to be as strong. A polyester thread, so you keep your polyester thread with your polyester fabric. And that polyester thread that we generally use for machine embroidery, whether it's glide or isocord thread, they can all be used for seaming as well.
Okay.
Now, some embroidery threads have been treated and twisted so that they're extra glossy. And so you'll need to, try what you have. So if you already have machine embroidery thread, try it in your sewing machine with cuddle to see if you like the way it comes out. If you haven't gotten some thread to use for your sewing machine, then we recommend go get some Metler Metro Scene 40 or 50 weight polyester thread and use that, like start there. But yeah, somebody else about cotton. I only have Orifil 50 weight cotton. Is that okay just for seams? See, that's something I'd be like, try it and see what happens. But for something that's going to get a lot of usage, cotton thread also it is not as strong as polyester thread. And that sounds so weird to say that. There are some really great cotton threads, and Orifil is a fantastic thread. It's just not the thread that we would pick first for seaming cuddle together.
Just imagine a big, heavy luxe cuddle blanket, like a big cuddle throw, and imagine the pressure you're putting on those seams if you're picking it up. It just, the weight of the cuddle, I mean, that thread has a million great applications. Orifil is fantastic, like Sheila said, but just with cuddle, I think it's safer to try to just go polyester across the board there.
Yeah. And you know, there's not a wrong answer. So, and try what you have first. If you've got kids or you're sewing for your pets, I mean, sewing for kids and pets, it's always like kind of like you really want industrial strength there, no matter what. Because
well, when I say picking up the blanket, I mean trying to rip it from your sister's hands is what I mean. Imagining. So
yeah, I can't imagine any kids do that.
Fighting over the blanket, who gets the coziest one, even though they're everywhere in the house. So we've got a million of them, but you always got to fight over who thinks the best one is.
Yeah. Mary says that she loves Orifil, but it will definitely snap. So that's good to know, because I'm not an Orifil user. So yeah. Somebody else said, I recently got a sewing embroidery combo machine and would like to know the best technique to use while embroidering the long pile furs. What do you suggest? So Ajaire, since you're learning and you're embroidery, you're past the point of being embroidery curious. We just have to push you over the edge with that embroidery machine actually in your house. So what would you say?
So I would say go find the video where Sheila tells you what to do. No, I mean, for most of the time when you guys seem to be using the longer pile cuddles, it looks like you do a knockdown stitch first, to kind of manage a little bit of that. But other than that, I'm not really sure. I just know that I've seen you guys do it and it always turns out fantastic. So I know it's possible and I know I can find where the answer is. Oh, and wait, I know where I can find the answer. It's with you today. But I could also find it on a video somewhere.
No, you did get that knockdown. That knockdown technique is a great way to keep the pile out of the way so that your embroidery shows. But like I said before, like, what is the technique? Like, what design are you putting on the fabric? Do you need to get the fluff out of the way, or are you doing something that's just, showing the texture? Because embroidery is a lot like quilting, like that finishing part of quilting. And sometimes we just want the effect of the stitching to like emboss some texture in there for us, whether we're going to do something solid and we just want to hold those stitches down. You can get some really cool effects with different embroidery techniques, but sometimes you just want to see the texture. So it doesn't matter what thread you use, you just are going to have a meandering textural effect. So yeah, the world is your oyster.
Yeah.
So, okay. Oh, I guess this is another embroidery question too. So how does Cuddle work when using magnetic hoops? Does it really stay in? And I will tell you that it depends on your magnetic hoop. So for embroidery, this is just kind of an across the board thing. You want to use the smallest hoop that you can get away with the embroidery design and the project you're working on. Okay. So hoops come in all different sizes. And like my embroidery machine, my single needle, I have one that's a 9-inch by 14-inch hoop, which is a pretty big area for an embroidery machine. So I have a magnetic hoop for that size for that machine. And it is very secure. Now, I've got a couple of different brands of magnetic hoops because they all kind of work a little bit differently. So sometimes it's harder to hoop Cuddle with some hoops because you have to insert it between the layers. I'm looking for a hoop right now. You got to squeeze one hoop inside of another. Yeah, like a hand embroidery hoop, like you're trying to squeeze those frames together. With a magnetic hoop, generally what happens, and I thought I brought it over here, but I didn't. They snap on top of each other. So it holds it flat. And there are magnets all around the frame, like all around it. So it really does hold the Cuddle really well. The trick is not to have, like, if you're doing an itty bitty embroidery design, you don't want a great big hoop.
Mm.
So you don't need a great big hoop. You just need the smaller hoop to do the smaller design. And then it's just right there and it'll be more stable. You'll get a better embroidery stitch out. So that's a great thing to think about. And so the other thing that people ask about, and I saw Ginger popped it in, does Cuddle get hoop burn from the embroidery hoops?
Mm.
It doesn't really. So Cuddle is like a really durable fiber. And I've melted it with a heat gun from the garage. Okay. So I haven't burned it like hoop burn. Like you can hoop burn cotton fabric in your embroidery machine with hooping. I haven't hoop burned Cuddle. That doesn't mean you can't. I just haven't done it, and I do a lot of embroidery on Cuddle, and I haven't gotten it to hoop burn. It's just such a durable fabric. It's not as fiddly or finicky as velvet or
Mm.
like,
Mhm.
some of those velours where the fibers are just not as strong, and they say Cuddle's just nice and durable.
It is.
So,
I
yeah,
feel the
it's
same. All right,
yeah.
well, here's one that I can answer. Sheila,
There you go.
can you use a serger for the seams? Yes, we love, love, love our sergers with Cuddle. Judy, I know you said you're beginning at this. We talk so much about serging over here because Sheila and I are currently obsessed, and we're both in the middle of a big run of classes we're teaching that are specifically about serging with Cuddle. So we could talk your ear off about serging with Cuddle, but when I was talking about lifting the heavy blanket and the seams snapping, yes, serging those seams make it so much more secure. Really is meant to be a stretch stitch. Those overlocked edges, they are meant to have a little bit of give to them. So serging with Cuddle is a big yes.
Yes, and I would say definitely, even if you're a beginning sewist and you have a serger, you're not doing anything super fancy by serging. Like
Hmm.
serge it, and
Hmm.
you'll just get a nice strong seam. So
Yep,
we've got a serger tips sheet too
we do.
for on the Shannon Fabrics website that you might be interested in if that's something you're interested in exploring.
Hmm.
Okay, is it easy to add ribbing cuffs to Cloud Cuddle? Yes. And I did show that in the Sew Together Live where we did this. So these are rib knit cuffs
Hmm.
on Cloud. I did it with the serger so you can see my seams.
Yep,
I'm always doing this to sewing people. I'm like, look at my
I
seam.
know. Look at your pretty seams.
So yeah, these are just rib knit cuffs.
Hmm.
And somebody asked, they were like, where do you get rib knit lately? And honestly, I took a shirt that was going to Goodwill that was made
Mm.
of rib knit, and I used that for my
Yeah.
cuffs. So
Mhm.
some of the quilting stores are getting some more garment fabrics that we can use for things like that, but that's what I
Mhm.
did in the meantime because I didn't have time to go shopping.
I also know several online, like, kind of mom and pop shops that, for apparel fabrics that have some good rib knit too. Um, but yeah, so it's a little bit harder these days to find some things because you can't always touch it ahead of time, but you kind of if you can read reviews, see what people have been making, there is some online shopping for stuff like that too.
Yeah, and you don't have to do a onesie with rib knit cuffs. So I put
Mm,
rib knit on the neck and I put it on the
yeah.
cuffs. But you could make a onesie that is like those Boilermaker suits. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like the
Yep.
jumpsuits. My
Yep.
dad wears those. He
Yeah,
loves those.
you could just
Yeah,
roll, turn the edge under
good
and
for the
hem
hem.
it because
Mhm.
cloud cuddles like the rest of the cuddles where it's not going to fray or unravel at all. You don't need to turn it over twice. You can just turn it over once and hem it using your cover stitch or using zigzag stitch. The cuddle's going to kind of hide any of that, so it doesn't have to be anything fancy. With my onesie, I was going back and forth whether I'm definitely doing the hood, so mine has a hood. And I'm going back and forth where I'm going to do rib knit on the cuffs. I might just do it on the arms and not the legs. I might leave the legs just a regular hem. I can't decide, but once it's done, like I said, I'll share it in that I Love Cuddle Facebook group, and I'll also share what pattern I'm using too. I don't want to share it yet because I haven't done it yet, and I'm never sure how things are going to turn out. And so if I'm not super impressed with the pattern when I'm done, I don't want to have shared it to all of you. So be on the lookout for that. I'll do the pictures no matter what, but whether or not I share the pattern, we'll see.
Teresa says that KC Maker, which is a
Mm,
store in Kansas City,
yeah.
has rib knit They're a quilt shop, and they've got a fantastic assortment of things for all
Good.
kinds of sewers. So, if you can't find any locally and you want to shop online, check out Casey Maker. Thank you, Teresa, for that shout out for them. And they're fabulous people over there too. So, oh my gosh, somebody's so sweet. I just want to say how much I appreciate the time you make to put on these shows. I feel like we've learned so much since we started watching you, and Sewing with Cuddle is so much less intimidating. I love that. And
Mhm.
we love, like, that's why I think Ajaire and I are doing this, because
Oh,
we
yeah.
love talking about
Of
sewing with
course.
Cuddle. Like, did you want to talk about sewing? We could talk about sewing for days.
Yeah.
But I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're feeling confident in starting some Cuddle projects, because that's part of what I think the magic of Sewing with Cuddle is that it's not hard. There's some things, some tips that we have to get you started. But once you've got those things down, like the double pinning and like using the right needle, you are free to go. I mean, and that's another plug for the Facebook group too, because people will show, look, I made this. Can't believe how easy it was. Look how it came out with Cuddle. So it's a fun place to
Mm.
get inspiration too.
I'm seeing one question in here from Patricia. She's saying she's struggling with cutting 2 pieces of cuddle for a throw for Bunny. So she's cutting Bunny. She's trying to make 2 pieces for throw and make them the same size. So she's measuring, cutting, and they keep seeming to be off. What what I suggest for that is cuddle is a lot more forgiving than you think, because across the width there is that stretch factor. Even if, especially in the width, if the sizes are slightly different, you can work that out across the width and make them sort of fit. And the fluffiness of that bunny is going to hide any like slight, you might have been slightly too wide, too narrow. The length is where it gets a little trickier because there's no stretch in the length along the selvage. So that really needs to match up a little bit better. But what you could do is you could do top both sides, and then that bottom edge, once all 3 of those sides are sewn together, you could kind of trim that up to match, and then leave an opening on that end.
Mhm.
Sheila, have you experienced anything different? Like, same tips? What do you think?
So, I mean, Bunny's thicker, right? So
It
that's
is.
you got a little bit more pile to deal with, and then you got to think about like that too. But I'm always thinking about my projects. How do I want it to feel in the end? And so
Mhm.
sometimes, if the project can stand a little bit of extra, it's not really bulk, but stability. Some people like interface their cuddle so that it
Mm,
doesn't stretch. So you can iron
mhm,
on SF101 or a Pellon lightweight interfacing that is, it'll take the stretch that, out, because you've fused
mhm.
onto a non-stretch interfacing. You do want to make sure that you're interfacing. If you want to do that, you're not going to use a stretch interfacing, right? You're going to use something that's designed to stabilize a knit fabric. So you could do that. Um, but I also I recommend just pinning carefully. And when we say pinning, we're not talking about like a pin at the front and a pin at the end. We're talking about lots of pins. So we're controlling the stretch, we're controlling all of the things that can happen by pinning the crud out of it so that it can't get away from us like that. Because it does have a tendency to stretch. Yeah. You're muted. You're muted. Oh, maybe I'm muted. Let's see. Ajaire, I think your microphone. Nope, you're off. Whatever you said, I'm sure it was fantastic. So I'll let you get that sorted, and then we'll hang on. So let me answer Cindy's question, and maybe you did that too. But Cindy says, you use a straight stitch or a stretch stitch or a very slight zigzag for the seams? That's a good question too, because a lot of sewing machines come with some zigzag stitches, or they come with a stretch stitch, which is kind of like a lightning bolt. So it's a very slim zigzag stitch, kind of put on the angle, and it's a really great stitch to use for stretch fabrics. In the same way that when you're stitching with a serger, that serger stitch stretches Okay, so that would be a good stretchy seam to use for sewing Cuddle. If your seam needs to stretch, so think about that. Does your seam need to stretch or does it not? So that's a great place to use that. So let's see if Ajaire's back. Did that
Can you
work?
guys hear me yet?
Oh, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Is it
I'm going to
echoing?
answer.
I
Go
changed
ahead.
from using I think my microphone, I think the battery died is what happened, so I'm plugged it in. So I think I'm just using my regular computer microphone. So does it sound okay?
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay. So if I go
Okay.
out again, just let me know. And I don't even remember what
Okay.
I was saying before, but I'm sure it was brilliant. So just someone who can
We'll
read
go.
this, why don't you go with the transcripts and write it?
We'll go back through and we'll dub your words in. So Karen asked, what's the best way to get started doing embroidery? Like, just jump out there and do it. Like, find a, add lettering to something, get your Cuddle project, maybe a blanket or a pillowcase, and add lettering to it. That's the easiest embroidery project that you can do. And once you start embroidering on Cuddle, you'll find what you like, because it's kind of like a recipe. Like, it's what you like and what you want to do, because I could tell you my way, but my way is not the only way. There's 100 different ways to do machine embroidery. And in the Cuddle Facebook group and among the ambassadors, we have lots of people that do machine embroidery that are expert embroiderers, and we all do it a little bit different because we all have different things we like. So, and there's plenty of room for that. But the best way to get started is to get yourself an embroidery machine, get yourself some pretty threads, because that's our palette, and then get yourself a batch of Cuddle and then push the button. That's how to do it.
And I just suggest, like I said, the YouTube videos. I think finding someone you trust like Sheila, we have some other Cuddle ambassadors who are awesome with embroidery. See a project that you think, wow, that came out really neat. I'd love to be able to repeat that. And then go see what they're doing, because they'll help you. They'll tell you how to do it. They'll tell you, and then you kind of can mimic their same steps till you figure out what your feel, what your thing is going to be, like what your preference is.
Yep.
I do see another question. Oh, yeah, there it is up on the screen. How to get fold creases out. I know people always want to iron those out, and I do iron on Cuddle. I have no problem pressing Cuddle, especially from the backing, low heat. But the fold creases, like sometimes if a shop has folded their kit pieces or something like that, there might be a fold crease in there. The best thing I've found to do is just to wash it. I just throw it into the machine, wash it, and let it kind of air fluff. That gets it out always for me. If you're in a rush and you don't have time to wash it, then you could spritz it and just press the backing a little bit, and kind of fluff that up that way. Have you experienced it at all, Sheila? I know
I
I've
haven't
seen.
got I mean, I've had Cuddle that has had some creases in it, and some of that's from shipping or storage, or just that anything can get a crease in it. But I am not afraid to use an iron on it either. So it's polyester fabric, and it takes a lot of heat. I mean, I'm talking about an insane amount of heat to actually damage Cuddle fabric. And so, I know we're supposed to say use low heat, use medium heat, use a pressing cloth. I can't be bothered to live like that. Full disclosure.
Yes.
And
I
somebody
have
else
a pressing
asked,
cloth. It just mostly sits back there and hangs out most of the time, because I'm always like, oh, I'm nervous about this. I'm going to try it. And then halfway through, I'm like, just full steam ahead, literally.
Yeah. Somebody else asked about, they said that no one will let them near their machines with Minky. And let me just say, if it's Cuddle Minky, then they have not experienced what we've experienced, what we know to be true about Cuddle Minky, because Cuddle is a different beast than just regular old Minky out there. Cuddle doesn't fray. It doesn't unravel. It doesn't keep losing its fibers. Once you do that initial cut and you get your Cuddle dust off, if you take care of your initial cut of Cuddle dust, it's not going to keep, you're not going to get oodles of fibers everywhere. It's not going to keep losing fiber or mess up somebody's machine. So, Amy, take care of your Cuddle dust before you go to their machine and show them, look, nothing's coming off. Let me sew. Let me sew.
Exactly. Yep. Once the initial fluff is gone, you don't have to worry about it again. I know everybody's always super worried about that, but they're thinking of other Minkies.
Yeah.
So
all right,
where
Helen
do you
has a good
batting? Sheila, you always remember the name of the one that I like that I use with Cuddle. It's the
Quilters
Quilter
string,
Select.
poly request, or poly select. So one of them is thinner than the other, and they're both very thin. And because they're a polyester batting, they're perfect for using with Cuddle. So the reason you want a batting with polyester in it is because 100% cotton batting will shrink a little bit.
Yes.
So have a little bit of polyester in your batting so that it doesn't shrink. There's nothing wrong with shrinking, but because we're using polyester fabric, let's match the fibers so that we don't have something unexpected happen as it gets used and loved and enjoyed by whoever's using it. But Quilter's Dream is the one that we like. We use it a whole lot.
Yeah. That's the one. That's pretty much the only one I use at this point. I just can never remember the name because I have a giant bolt of it, so I don't have to buy it in the packages, and so I don't see the name very often because it's just a big bolt, and I'm always like, Sheila, what's the name of this stuff?
You need to come with us to a trade show because
yes,
we go
then I'll really
talk
know.
to the quilters. Yeah, going to talk to the people at Quilter's Dream is super fun, and
Yes.
and you can feel all of the different
Mhm.
flavors. Like we're not eating batting, but you can feel all of it. And so there may be a good reason why you want to use something else,
Yes.
but that's what we like. Can I use Cuddle quilt fabric as a band on a fleece hat? Ooh, Molly, that's a good question. So
Do you mean like a band, like a decorative band around the middle of it, or a band along the head to stretch? That's what I'm trying to figure out which one she means.
So a lot of people, a lot of patterns that you could use fleece for, you absolutely can use Cuddle for. Quilting Cuddle doesn't have the same kind of stretch that C3 Cuddle has. So I've got a hat. Let's see if I can grab it. Over here on my wall, it's cap, like a ball cap. Okay, so this is made with Quilting Cuddle, so it doesn't stretch. It doesn't, I mean, it does stretch, but it doesn't have a lot of stretch. And I didn't need to treat it to keep it stable like you would need for cotton to make a cap out of like this. If you need a stretchy hat that stretches, to get it on and off your head, I would use regular C3 Cuddle for that. I wouldn't use Quilting Cuddle because you want it to be able to stretch on and off and fit your head and stay snug. So that's a good question though, because other cuddles can stretch. They can stretch more. There's different variations of stretch. Some of the Luxes, I'm thinking there was one Sherpa one that we had for a long time.
Yeah.
That was quite a bit stretchy. And so when we used it, we did have to use some things, to kind of control the stretch. If controlling the stretch is what we were trying to do. So yeah, sorry about the comments there. We're blocking them. The internet's a crazy place.
So it says, what kind of Cuddle would you use to make a beanie hat? That's from Stephanie. And the new Marshmallow Cuddle, which I have a piece of it here if I can make everything else not go flying. So Marshmallows is actually super stretchy. Like that would be great for a beanie hat. That's actually 2 layers thick. So let me just grab one layer. But this would look awesome for a beanie. It would like really stretch nicely. It would be so cozy on. So that's what I would use for a beanie if I was going to use Cuddle. And this is that like super, super soft. It's called Marshmallow. It's like one of our newest fabrics. Have you made any kind of beanie with other Cuddles, Sheila?
I have not, because we're not hat people. We don't have any reason to live. We don't live like that.
Yes.
I mean, I've made like ball caps out of
yes.
I've got 5 or 6 of these hanging around.
Yeah, you could do it with C3. It would just be, you just need to make sure the sizing is right because C3 will stretch enough to go on, but you just would have to, if it was made for fleece, it would work, but not like the micro stretch fleece kind of thing. It's not the same type of stretch. And Teresa says it was called Lux Cuddle Lamb. Yes. And the lamb it was awesome, but it really did stretch a ton. I used it for some sweatshirt kind of things because it actually worked great for the stretch for clothing. But if you were just doing blanket or something, it was a lot of stretch in that lamb.
Debbie says that she just got some marshmallow. Ooh.
Yay. What color did you get, Debbie?
It's brand new and we haven't, I mean, we played with it a little bit, but you're stay tuned because there will be some marshmallow content coming from
Oh, yeah.
Shannon soon.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Here's some marshmallows.
Okay. Yeah, there's a marshmallow onesie, and the green one is the marshmallow one, and the plaid one is it's another cloud one called just plaid, I think is the name of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I think so.
It's set on the diagonal, but marshmallow is fantastic for a
Mm.
for a onesie, and that one is so lovely. So it
It
does
is.
stretch. Anything that you were going to use a stretch velour for,
Yeah.
it would take it up 100 levels by using
Mhm.
marshmallow for. Very,
Yeah,
very
so
wearable.
great
Oh, you
stretch.
got red. Nice. I can't wait to see
Ooh,
what you make out of
yes.
it, Debbie.
That would be great with something Christmassy, like a top or something. It's just got such a good stretch to it. Oh, a nightgown.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Now that is
Oh,
luxurious.
yeah.
That's gonna be
Yeah.
luxurious.
I mean, just anything, like we talk, I mean, wearable. The theme of Cuddle for me lately is it's wearable. And
Yes.
so my quilt coat that I wear all the time lately, because it's finally winter, I've got C3 on the inside and just cotton on the outside. And it is so perfect and snuggly. And so the wind doesn't blow through it. Everything. I'm making another coat out of a Lex Cuddle. I've got Nube. It's on the dining
Mhm.
table, and it's a real thick, dense, longer Cuddle, but I'm doing the same pattern out of Nube with silky satin on the inside. So
Yes.
that
And
Ajaire,
you're
I'm
going
going
to
to
some
be,
cold places this winter too. So you're gonna need that extra of the Nube in there. You're gonna need that.
yeah. But the last Sew Together Live that we did last year, you walked through the whole coat process. So
Mhm.
that's going to be my reference for that.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep. I did Vienna on the outside, I believe, and the inside silky satin. Yep. And I've worn that coat all last winter. I just wore it to New York City last week. Super warm, cozy. The wind doesn't go through it. Nothing. It's awesome. Oh, here's
Nice.
my little girl who's homesick today. That's her in a little cape. This is like a capelet. That was actually the uh cherry cola. Is that what it was called?
Is that Vienna?
Yeah, the Vienna. Oh gosh, it was like huge last year. It's still huge this year. Can't keep it on the shelves. But it just is a cute little cape that was great for jazzing up an outfit for Christmas. We were going to a Christmas show, and it was super fast. I think there may have been a reel or something on how to make that we posted last year.
It's just gorgeous. I mean, that's elegant but like
So cozy.
easy to care for. That's the other
Yes.
part. Like that's why Cuddle is so nice, because it's not like we don't have to take it to a furrier to get cleaned. Like we can just throw it in the wash. Yeah.
Someone asked, when you make sweatshirts with Cuddle, do you double layer the fabric? So now I don't do sweatshirts with just the regular Luxe Cuddle. I would do it in either Cloud Cuddle, which is already double-sided, so it has that fluff on both sides, or I would use something like now that Marshmallow is amazing. And I was talking about the Cuddle Lamb that is no longer available. We were talking about that a little bit ago. That was also kind of double-sided. So I would try to stick to the ones now that are double-sided, just because we've got some great offerings for that now.
Yeah. And just because it's discontinued, I still see it in stores. So I've
Yes.
seen lamb in stores.
Mhm.
I've seen all kinds of Cuddle. So check out your quilt shops, because
Yes.
there are surprises in there too. So, let's see. Yeah, everybody needs Vienna in their life.
Oh,
It's
yes.
just fabulous. It's so silky. And like I talk about Cloud feeling silky, which you don't think of a onesie feeling silky and
Mhm.
luxurious, but it's that same hand feel, like just the way your fingertips glide over it. It's just really,
It
really
is.
nice. Yeah.
Adriana, do you have the picture of the purple coat that I was going to say? So another way, instead of making your whole coat out of Cuddle, so this was a coat that I did several years ago. Actually, my youngest is now wearing it this year. So I made it out of, it was like a coating type of fabric that was already pre-quilted. And so when I put the coat together, I decided to do a C3, which was a digital print lining. So you can see one of the pictures there has the lining of the digital Cuddle. And then around the hood, instead of doing the facing on the inside of the hood the way you normally would. I decided to use the facing on the outside and have that Luxe Cuddle around, like for a little coziness around the outside of the hood. And then my favorite technique of how to just like cozy up a regular old coat, whatever pattern you're using, is to do cuddle in the pockets. Something simple like a C3, or even now the quilting cuddle that wasn't available when I did this coat. Something just to have a little bit of softness when you put your hands in there. It's kind of like a fun surprise. And it just, as we're talking about today, just a way to make your life a little cozier. So you don't always have to make the whole thing out of cuddle. You can just do parts and choose what parts you want to make extra cozy.
Yeah, and you could even do that with like your own coat that you already have. Like if you have a denim jacket, you can add cuddle like
Absolutely.
to a cuff, to the collar, to jazz it up a little bit. Like you've got stuff I mean, we've all got stuff in our closet that we're bored with. Well, those are the perfect playgrounds for you to add cuddle to things, just to, you know, be a little bit more sustainable. We're not going to get rid of it, but let's repurpose it. Let's jazz it up a little bit, but put some cuddle on it. I love this coat. So stinking cute.
So this is one of my coats too. The one on the left is the Mackinac coat pattern of mine, but instead of again making the entire coat out of cuddle, I just use the shawl collar. Use that with some really nice. Actually, I think that's the same Luxe Cuddle that my scarf that I was wearing is made out of. I think it's that rabbit. And then on the right, just a cute set of like a little bonnet with bunny ears and some gloves. Like just those were C3, and I believe that actually might be lamb that was lining there. But these are just ways to get cuddle in your life. Like it doesn't have to be all cuddle. It can just be pieces. Pretty soon it'll be all cuddle because you'll fall in love with it. But just ways to and add a little bit of here and there.
Yeah, and a small project is sometimes a little bit more approachable. You don't have to do the whole coat. But
Yes.
you're going to want to do the whole coat, like these sweet muffins. That blue jacket. I mean, both of those are just gorgeous. But so you
these
just
are
have a
all
little bit of.
Yeah, these are the same pattern, and one of them, the whole coat is made with Luxe Cuddle hide. That was in Dazzle, that like fun hide that has the little bits of glitter. And then the other one is made with like a waffle knit as a cardigan with just the Luxe Cuddle llama dramatic. The shawl collar is done in the llama.
I
So
love it. I
all
love it.
cuddle or just a little cuddle. You can kind of go both ways.
So
Oh, and here's
little or a
another
lot.
one. This is more Luxe Cuddle Llama. This was just a really simple vest. I believe it's the Love Notions Acorn vest, which also comes in a cute little doll size too. This year, the year that she asked for this, she was dressing, I don't know, 70s or something like that for a Girl Scout project. And so she wanted a fun, funky vest. And so we just threw that together really quickly. And it was just a fun way to jazz up the outfit. And it was super easy to make with that Luxe Cuddle Llama. I think it was llama on both sides. I don't think I lined it with anything different, but you could certainly line it with even just a cotton or silky satin always. It works great as a lining.
That is just gorgeous. And I know that was just so squishable and yummy. I mean, the world is a crazy place. We need cuddle. We need to be cuddled up with it.
Yep.
So Janice says Shannon also makes satin, right? So yeah, there's a silky satin. It's called silky satin. That's the official name of it. And it comes in so many colors. Like I know over 70. And I know that because I was picking some out the other day when I was ordering some. And so it's not a knit fabric. So it is a woven. So you would just sew it like you would. Satin is its own thing. Like it's kind of a slippery fabric, but it's 100% polyester. So I'm going to use a sharp needle. With Cuddle, I've decreased the presser foot pressure on my sewing machine. With satin, I'm bringing that back down because that stuff is slippery. And so I'm going to control my fabric by adjusting my machine, by pinning, of course. Satin has a whole different set of techniques than Cuddle, but it is wonderful with Cuddle. So it's a perfect pairing. So a lot of the cosplayers will use specifically the Shannon Fabric Silky Satin. So if you follow some cosplayers, notice what they have. So
And when you start to sew the silky satin to the Cuddle, I tend to default to the Cuddle settings for that.
me
So I'll
too.
go back to the 9014 stretch needle because silky satin seems to be fine with it. So when I'm doing like a lining in silky satin, I'll do the whole lining first using my satin settings that Sheila just talked about. And then when it comes time to put them together, I just keep the Cuddle settings.
Right.
I've had the best success with that.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you have a room full of kids and a couple are out of control, like you work the room so that the kids that need the most support
Yes.
are taken care of the best. And I think about that with Cuddle. So which is the fabric that needs more support and needs more care? It's,
Mhm.
I'm going to defer to that one. That's going to be my one that I pay more attention to
Yeah.
and just work toward. So when we do that, like when we do that with kids, the whole classroom, is better when we
It's better
treat
off for it.
everybody right. And so like my project is also better when I'm working toward the one that needs the most support. So
That's
yeah,
a great way to
so
put it.
fun. So Adriana, do you want to share some of those other 12 days of cuddle projects real
Yeah.
quick so we can go through this? Because there were some they were all just phenomenal. We had
Yes.
so much fun putting it together.
Oh, I love this one.
These are Santa sacks. And oh no, these are just wrapping, like the furry
Yeah, those are
cushies.
just the little wrapping ones. Those I think were from Lisa Lewick. I think she did those ones, right?
Those are so perfect. Yeah, and the ho 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 is a cloud cuddle. And
Yes, which I love.
so if you haven't purchased wrapping paper yet and you have yardage, you might be sustainable and use some of that fabric to wrap your gifts. So you've got a mess-free Christmas and you can you just put the fabric back in your stash. You could also
My
make
older
a bag.
sister made some fabric bags, like some fake fabric Santa bags a few years ago, and it's just hilarious because every year she brings them back. She's like, I went through the effort of making them one year, but now every year she's got these bags that she just puts everybody's gifts in their little sacks and brings them over. Super easy to carry around, and it's just they're kind of fun to have anyway. So
All right, look who's
it's worth
peeking
it.
out behind. Did you see who's peeking out behind those packages on that picture?
No, I missed it.
That was
Oh,
Harper. I saw
yay.
Harper back there, so Harper came out to play and say hi. So
Yes.
Harper is he's a pre-cut kit. And so if you see him in your quilt store, snatch him up because they are
Oh,
not lasting long at all in stores. They'll get more, but Harper he's pre-cut, they, I'm not going to assume the gender. But a great project to make. They don't take long at all to stitch up, and I don't know anybody that would be mad about getting a handmade elephant for Christmas, especially one this cute. So
and the kit
super
pieces are
easy to
all
sew.
cut out for you. So the pieces are all cut out. All you have to do is just sew it
Yeah.
together, which is
Yeah,
awesome. It's one less step. So there's plenty of time to do one of those before Christmas for sure.
absolutely. Yeah. The cutting for me, the cutting is the project that takes the cutting takes longest.
It takes
This
half
is
the time.
this is another fun one. So I did this one. This was a in the hoop machine embroidery project. The pattern designer that I got the pattern from was called her store is called Snuggle Peppy Applique. Adorable. And so she has a whole range of these cute scarves, and you make the faces and the legs on your embroidery machine. And then you put it all together with your sewing machine and just a little bit of hand sewing. So cute.
Yeah, this
So
one was
cute.
adorable.
No animals were harmed in the process of making these scarves. These are adorable too. So I know Dawn Chase, one of our other Cuddle ambassadors, put these together, and they are so well done. So that's machine embroidery. Okay.
Yes.
It's machine embroidery applique and stitching. And I can tell she did not use a knockdown stitch on them. So you don't always need a knockdown. It just depends on what you're trying to do. And that quilting cuddle on the pillows on the right side of the screen as I'm looking at it, those Christmas trees,
Those are
that's
gorgeous.
quilting cuddle. And they look fantastic. It's just really, really nice.
Yeah, I love those pillows.
Yep. Yep. Oh, and these bows. I love y'all. The big bow thing is still
Huge this year.
It is. So, and a cuddle bow is a better bow.
Oh,
I will
yes.
say that.
Yes.
So
How
those
gorgeous
are
would that be with
so.
the fireplace?
I know. I need to. I love the Santa blanket, the big
Yes.
Santa belly blanket. So cute. We've got a Santa pillow on the Shannon Fabrics website, and this just takes Santa, a whole other level. If you're the
Yes.
Santa, you need your own Santa blanket for
I
sure.
love it. And that was just appliqued on, like, just super easy.
Oh, and this one was super cute. Patricia. So Patricia actually is Mrs. Santa Claus. Like she's Mrs. Claus. She made this little pattern for us and so it's on the Shannon Fabrics blog for this little advent calendar. So cute. And you move the little skier to each little date. And you still have time. So I don't know what the date is today. It's something, but you've got plenty of days where you could still make one and get that advent calendar going.
And the nice thing about it is you just reuse it every year. Ooh, this was that wreath you did last year, Sheila. I love it.
So this is like so funny. So there's a pattern called the Petal Pop Pillow. Okay. Sugar Bee Quilts is the pattern designer. And she has a template that she designed and to make the petals on the Petal Pop pillow. So I just took that template and I had done it with Cuddle for a Santa face petal pop pattern. And I was like, I just went crazy making petals. So then I made them out of C3 and I made some out of Lux and I stuck them together. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a poinsettia. It's a super luscious poinsettia out of Cuddle. And then I used Dreamy Fur to just wrap a pool noodle. Okay. So this is, and then a Dollar Tree wire wreath. And I just stuck some little, wreathy bits in there and sewed on some pearls. I love this. Like he did not get put up this year because he just stayed out all year because he makes me so happy. So
it's so pretty. I love this.
So fun. And then here's another idea. So if you got bits of Cuddle left, so I'm forever ending up with like 18-inch strips of Cuddle left, right? So those turn into tote bags here at my house. So this is Powder Puff Cuddle. And it's just 2 squares, 18 inches on each side, and then the strap as long as you want it. I used a cotton fabric for the lining, but just sew together super quick. And what I'm using for the inside of my tote bags at the bottom right now is I'm recycling political campaign signs. So I just cut those to the size I want in the bottom, shove that in there between the outside and the lining. And so I've done a bit of recycling too. I'm really happy with those. I love that. And that's like that's a super luxurious bag. So if you need a great quick tote to put your Cuddle goodies in for Christmas, nobody's going to be mad about a tote bag.
Oh, these cute stockings. These turned out so beautiful. Was it Reen?
Those are Quilting Cuddle. Yeah, Reen Wilcoxon from
Cuddle.
Embroidery Garden did them.
And they just turned out so nice. And I think that's Dreamy Fur that's on the top of them, right?
It's really, really good. And those tags are machine embroidered Quilting Cuddle too. So really, somebody says she made a pink Cuddle purse lined with Tula. I love that.
I bet that's gorgeous.
Here's one of your little muffins.
Oh, yeah. One of your I think we shared this maybe even last time. This is just another quick little touch. All I did was just applique this little bit of some Luxe Cuddle in a bow shape that I cut out. I just appliqued it right on the, the part where the split of the sweatshirt is one of my crop sweatshirt patterns. And there's a little split on the sides. And I thought that would be a cute little touch to add for a Christmas outfit. So another way to get Cuddle in your life.
Yep. And it's right there. So like when you're fidgeting, you've got a little Cuddle to help calm you down.
Yep,
we use Cuddle as kind of a recenters us.
Yes.
And here's that
coat.
Yep, that Cherry Cola Vienna is
so
just
good.
Gorgeous. And you can see so it doesn't have a zipper in it, but it has like a little buckle surface closure. So you can get really creative because Cuddle is thick. And maybe you don't want to put a zipper into that right away, but you could do some cool surface closures on it. And I love that. I love this. Oh, this is really fun. So Lisa Lewick, she's another one of our Cuddle ambassadors, and she made this out of Quilting Cuddle. So this is the Wherever Wrap by Amy Bergman. Okay. So the Wherever Wrap requires you to use a 60-inch wide piece of fabric. Well, Quilting Cuddle is a little bit different than regular Cuddle, and it comes in 45-inch wide bolts, right? So not the 60-inch wide like regular Cuddle. So what Lisa did is she patchworked a bunch of pieces of Quilting Cuddle to get that 60-inch width, and then made the Wherever Wrap out of it. And so this is one of my kiddos modeling it for me. I love this. I love this so much. And because it's Quilting Cuddle, this is an all year wear around kind of thing because it's very lightweight. It's just a little bit of warmth on your back and your shoulders. It's just so fun. we are loving the wherever wrap pattern. And I know I've made it at least 5 or 6 times because it's just so fun and easy. It's a great cuddle pat. And you can make it out of other stuff, but it's great with cuddle for sure.
Yeah.
Any lining? No, there was no lining on that one at all. You could totally line it, but you don't have to. And that's another nice thing too about cuddle, because it doesn't fray.
Yes.
You're not going to have cuddle bits on the inside of you if you choose not to line it. So
And
sometimes
that inside, like the backing is actually smooth and soft. Like it's not like some of the backings of fabrics, it kind of wants to catch on your dry hands or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? It's that like just, it's picky. I don't like to touch it. The back of cuddle, especially that quilting cuddle, the backing is just really lovely. So it feels nice against the skin. It's not anything that would irritate or anything like that.
Yep. I just grabbed a chunk of it over here. It's wearable. Again, very wearable. Yeah. So
I'm grabbing that mitten pattern. Someone was asking for the mitten pattern. So I was just grabbing that link and I can post it in the, I'll post it when we're done with the live. So you guys have that mitten pattern. Someone's asking for it.
Ajaire, do you still have some cuddle sewing that you're working on before Christmas?
Yep. Got some blankets. I'm going to do some throws. Milan. Everybody's getting Milan this year. Don't tell my family. But
yeah, Milan is so great. It's like, it's super silky.
Fell in love with Milan.
It's so good.
And you guys, if you don't know Milan, check a couple cuddle conversations that go out on YouTube, because Sheila and I did an entire fawning over Milan episode.
That's what it could be called, fawning over Milan. And you guys, so just for you guys Milan coming up, yeah, it's so good. Stay tuned to the Shannon Fabrics page as well as the I Love Cuddle group, because there are lots of educational opportunities coming up for this next year. So ask your store if they've got cuddle classes on the books, right? If they don't, they need to get on it, because we got so many that are already booked for the first half of the year. And I know that some of mine are even booked into August for next year. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But we love to talk about cuddle, and your store could do cuddle classes. They don't need an educator, but we love to come. And there are lots of us available to come lead a session at your store, whether we do a trunk show or we do a project class. Harper is a super fun class to have a project class with. So ask your local quilt shop for them to have some cuddle classes so that you can do some in person. We love sewing with you virtually, but sometimes there's nothing better than doing it in person. Absolutely. And so stay tuned for those class lists. Ajaire and I are always posting our things that we're doing, but there are so many more as well, because we have lots and lots of stuff going on out there in the wild.
Lots of ambassadors all around the country, so people are out there teaching all the time.
It's been really fun. We'll have to do well, I know there's a thing coming up where you can kind of do a meet the ambassador thing, but we'll have to do a conversation where we bring more ambassadors in, because they're amazing creative people that have done some amazing, fantastic things with cuddle. And like, there is no end to it. I feel like we're like the secret test lab for Shannon Fabrics fabric things. And we're like, somebody will be like, can we try this with cuddle? And we're like, let's try it. So,
and everybody seems to have their own specialties too. So it's really fun to see when we kind of all come together and they send us some fabric and say, play with this, see what you can do. It's really fun to see what everybody comes up with, because it's such a wide variety. I mean, it's awesome to see what
it is.
People are doing all sorts of different things. So lots of really impressive people.
I love that Diane Cullum says she has cuddle ornaments on her list to make. Nice. And Carrie is going to be taking back a class that's surging with cuddle. Yay.
Maybe we're teaching it.
They are super fun. Here's some of our fun. You can see happy people. We've been sewing together, and it's been oodles of fun. And we get projects done. Like, that's part of our goal, is for everybody to leave with a finished thing. So here's some of the cuddle up with the serger classes. That was a class we did at Quilt Festival. There's more of the cuddle up. I mean, there's so much fun. And we've had a ball in the fall, teaching cuddle up with Bernina classes, doing cuddle classes. If you want to talk about sewing with cuddle, we're the ones to call. Heidi says she's going on Fremont, Nebraska in March. Great.
Oh, yay.
That's
awesome.
Great.
Yeah, it's a great class. You'll really enjoy it.
Yeah, we had oodles of fun. Look at all these infinity scarves. I mean, all these
too.
I know, it's like we were an army of of
That's
robes. Oh, I didn't
gorgeous.
show y'all. I have a couple of robes here too, but that cloud is fantastic for robes. But C3 is
Mm.
great for robes too. And marshmallow is going to be fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
These are things we have not yet done that we need to get to, but
Mhm.
lots and lots of fun.
Yes. Adriana, do we have winners picked yet? I feel like I never want to forget to announce the winners. Oh, there we go.
Yay!
Tammy
So
James,
these are
Judy Davidoff, and Mary Alexander Agan. You can just email info@shannonfabrics, name, shipping, info, and phone number. The shipping requires the phone number, so make sure you include that. Use the subject line live winner, and you're getting a cuddle blanket.
yay, more cuddle goodness out there in the wild. So that's super fun. Congratulations, y'all.
Yes.
And thanks for hanging out with us and for talking about cuddle with us. We can, Ajaire and I could do this for hours. That is something that we absolutely love to do, which is why
Yes.
we're thrilled that Shannon was like, sure, y'all can talk about cuddle. So
Uh-huh.
we're here to talk about cuddle. And if you have more questions, be sure to join the Facebook group for I Love Cuddle
And
Fabric.
we love, like, you guys have been asking a lot of questions ahead of time, which is nice. Kind of helps spread the word out there. And then even today, it felt like lots of questions were asked during, and that's what we're here for. We're here to answer your questions. We've usually got some sort of topic or subject, but we're really here to interact with you, like what questions you have about cuddle. So if you've got a question, feel free to ask it either in the I Love Cuddle Facebook group or save it for one of our Cuddle Conversations. We're happy to answer.
All right, Ajaire, I hope one of your kiddos, your sickie, like lets you get some sewing time in because you need a onesie
I
so that
do.
we can be sisters.
I do. It's all cut out and ready to go. The hard part's done. Now I just got to sew it up, and the serger's going to zip right through it. I know. So I'll have it up in no time.
Okay, y'all get out there and you stay cozy this winter because the world's
Yes.
crazy and cuddle makes it better. So we've had a great time chatting with all of y'all today, and thank you for hanging out with us. And let us know what you're interested in as far if like you want to talk about cuddle, we will talk about cuddle. So yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, happy sewing.